Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Elite Season 8. I am Hans Buttface. Tonight is our first Season 8 episode, the Cesspool show. We'll be showing the races in the Cesspool League tonight, and introducing you to the Season 8 game, Toki, for the NES. But first, let's review the rules of the Elite Tournament. Season 8 will have 24 players, all returning from last season, and they'll be divided into 3 leagues of 8. There'll be 2 groups per league, with 4 players in each group. Participants will compete in a round-robin format, where everybody in one group plays everyone else, and that will be 3 races long. From there, the top 2 in each group advance to the brackets for that league. The finalists of the bracket round in the Bowl and the Cesspool leagues will be promoted to the Upper Deck and the Bowl respectively, and the bottom 2 players in the Upper Deck and the Bowl will compete in relegation races, where the bottom 2 players of those 4-player races will get relegated to the league below. And there are rewards and humiliations for winning and losing in the season, but we'll bring that up when the time is right. And since this is our Cesspool show, let's introduce you to the participants of the Cesspool. Jackamus Wedge, the Alan Heffley, Zyrak, and Zeb Gedney are all returning from the Cesspool last season. They did not make any of the bracket rounds. BTs and Just a Man 114 made the bracket round, but they were eliminated in the first round. And they are joined this season by Digshake and Puke 7, who were relegated from the Bowl to the Cesspool. Now let's take you to our first of the Cesspool races, and welcome aboard a new commentator to Elite. His name is Reginald Esports Jackson, and he'll be calling the race between BTs and Zeb Gedney. All right, 5, 4, 3, yeah. All right, no talking. Yeah, yep, no talking. All right. 4, 3, yeah, come on, Big Reg. Yeah. 2, 1. Hello, everybody. I am Reginald Esports Jackson here for the Elite Tournament. This is a Week 1 Cesspool race between BTs and Zeb Gedney. They are in Group Donkey Kong. We're going to start here in just a second. Oh, we are starting right now. And both players are out of the gate. They're moving somewhat right. And the whole goal of this first stage is to move as fluently as possible and take minimum damage so you can utilize a damage boost later on in the round. Let's see if they can get there. Up above the weighted teeter-totter, and they're going to play a little grab the vine game. Both players grab the football helmet, gives them invulnerability. Right about now, the helmet will be wearing off for BTs. Zeb Gedney is not going to get as far. Let's see if he can get past this spider here. BTs is going to kill that spider and not do the damage skip. Let's see what Zeb Gedney tries to do. He took a damage, so he's not going to be able to do it either. And there's some damage for BTs as well. But he's going to ascend this vine and get to the other weighted teeter-totter. Zeb Gedney is trying really hard to kill that spider, and he finally does. BT grabs the rabbit's foot, and then the other football helmet, and be making his way to the first boss here. This is Balaraga. And down he goes. BT's clear of stage 1. They'll be heading on to stage 2 right now. Zeb Gedney loses a life. It's a nice little damage boost jump there. Can't utilize anything, though. There's nothing to land on. He's got to do the jump proper. No skip there for BT. Boss fight here for Zeb Gedney. He has the invulnerability, doesn't get stepped on, and he downs the boss. Now he'll be on his way to stage 2 here. Meanwhile, BT's is swimming through the ocean. Monkeys are great swimmers. There is a football helmet he can get before this fight to make it a little bit faster, but he does do a somewhat fast strat right there, getting behind Neptuna, chicken of the sea, or maybe the chimpanzee of the sea. Zeb is going for the football helmet right now. Let's see if he gets it. Nope, he gets a death instead. BT getting that hitbox there for this boss. This boss is named Ram Bacha. And he gets through. Gets a heart container as well. Bosses can drop some form of rewards. Heart containers, heart refills, bonus bag of points, 1-ups, and sometimes fruit. Maybe 10 coins at a time. Some good stuff there. You can go to the window and trade it in for a Japanese finger trap. Somewhat quick kill there for BT's. He's going to get the football helmet and make his way through the second part of the third stage. Meanwhile, Zeb Gedney gets through the mini-boss of stage 2. We'll see if BT's can ascend and jump there. He did get the little jump, but he could not get the extended football helmet, so it'll be wearing off pretty shortly here. Zeb taking his time. And he's finally at Rambacha. Oh, BT's goes right in the lava on that one. He's going to go down here with his regular beam. His regular fire. The Wizard of the World did not like the story of the game, so they gave Toki some things to shoot from his mouth. That is real lore right there. Straight from the manual, and I have this game, so I know what I'm talking about. Alright, let's see if Zeb can catch up here. BT's is not going to go fishing for that 1-up. He's going to keep on trucking. Zeb does not get the quick kill. He's just monkeying around there. Finally kills the boss. Or the, the bird that drops the key. Nope, no double helmet for him either. I have not seen it done, but I was told it can be done. We'll see in the other races coming up in the Elite Season 8 tournament for Toki on the NES. We are 6 minutes into this race with BT's and Zeb Gedney in Group Donkey Kong. This boss right here, BT's is fighting, is named MacGyver. And BT downs him, and he'll be on his way to Stage 4, the Ice Palace, but there is no ice physics. You won't slide off any of these boxes or platforms. All right, marathon fight there for Zeb Gedney. He gets the key and he can move on. There's another skip here coming up for BTs. Let's see if he can do it. He does set it up, and he dies. He'll be... No, he does not die. He jumps right on the fish. One heart down, and there's the second heart down, and he'll start further in the stage. He initiated the checkpoint. He wrapped around the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen. And the game thought he was further in the game than he was. And he was able to save that time. Zebgenny looks about as lost as a monkey at the North Pole right now. Losing some time here to BTs. Take some damage from that sperm wheel, which is guaranteed damage in this game. And makes his way over to Zorzamouth. And before I can say it, he downed Zorzamorth. Stage 5 for BTs. Zebgenny is going to work a little bit here at the end of stage 3. And here's MacGyver. Jungle time for BTs. I think it's a thing that there is a jungle emote or command. And I'm asked to inform people to trigger it right now if they so desire. As we watch Zebgenny enter the Ice Palace. But he doesn't have the mirror. Ah. BTs takes a little bit of damage here. Has to be careful. He's on one heart. And this section is pretty laggy, and there's a lot of stuff in your way. He's got to hit that weighted teeter-totter and avoid the riffraff above him, and he does. Did not jump for that one up. He has 6 of them. He doesn't really need them. He saved about 17 frames there. Now, Zebgenny did just die and spawn there. I don't know if he set up the... I wasn't looking. I was looking at the guy in the lead. Don't know if he set up the skip or if he just naturally died there. We'll have to go review the tape after this. He's got to pick up the key, though. Ooh, close jump there for BTs. Almost didn't make it, but he made it. Now he's off to the boss of Stage 5, Bashtar, the invisible giant, whose heart, for some reason, just stays in one place while his body moves. Looks like if you would draw the invisible body there, looks like he would need a V8. Oh, there's a game over for Zebgenny. When you take a game over, you lose all your power-ups, which are basically just heart containers. He'll start at 2 heart containers, and you'll know he needs them because he had more than 2 and still died. Kind of wondering if Toki is a bam boom after that death. All right. Attempt number 2. Good for BTs right there. As Zeb works on the boss of level 4. BTs is in the final stage. Once again, I am Reginald Esports Jackson for Elite Season 8. And I hope everyone is as hyped for this season as I am to call and watch it myself. Alright, Zebgenny over a full stage behind. BTs is well on his way to winning here. Zeb loses his life. Zeb is looking like a guy who has only practiced the first 2.5 stages of this game. Probably somebody who has a family and went on vacation or was out of town and is going to use that as an excuse why he's not doing good. Minecart time for BTs. Almost overshoots that jump. Gets the helmet. Doesn't have to worry about ducking any of these obstacles here, which I don't even know what they would be. But they're there. Halfway there. He's going to take the intentional death there to get to this last section with full health, and he already took 1 heart of damage. So good attempt at the intentional death, but he does take damage. We'll see if 3 hearts is good enough for him to kill the final boss. Zebgenny is hoping he does not kill the final boss, because he is very far behind. All right, 3 hearts for BT's last section. Gets the 1-up on that jump. Beautifully done. I've watched about 16 hours of practice in this game total, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone get that 1-up before. Looks like BT's might be the one to beat in this tournament. No, now he grabs that fire. Just as I compliment him, he grabs that fire power-up right there. Which means it's going to wear out pretty quickly. You can grab one later on, and the duration will last longer. And here's the final boss. Fuki Meldo. He's got 2 forms. The first form, he throws wooden boomerangs at you. And the second form, he comes like Voltron and throws his head and hands at you. So with the weaker weapon, it's going to take longer to kill this guy, but he has not taken damage yet, though. It's going to keep plugging away. He's got about, like, 18 more hits left. Trying to sprinkle in the shots. Gets a few of them in a row there, but takes a couple points of damage. He's on his last heart. He has to be careful. A death like this and 17 more could get Zebgenny back in the game. Last hit, and he did it! Marmoset knock you out! BT's is the champion of this race! And he finishes with a time of 14:16. Oh, Zebgenny is going to continue this out. He's fighting 1 heart left here. Gotta be careful. Doesn't want to get stepped on. He gets stepped on. Hopefully that was a real boot, not a boot with like a toe cut out in it. We don't like those. They are very scary. And there's another death right there. 2 more lives left here for Zebgenny. He wants to hang on to that 3rd heart container. Instant death when you hit those spikes. Does a nice little bouncy boost over and then holds on to that platform too long and takes a spike right in his behind. Once again, I am Reginald Esports Jackson for Elite Season 8. BT's is 1-0 in Group Donkey Kong. Zebgenny is 0-1. And then we have Jackamus Wedge and Justin Man 11-4 yet to play. This is the opening match, opening day of Elite Season 8. Glad you guys are joining us for this Cesspool show. And there we go. Free guy, free 1-up. Second 1-up there for Zebgenny. And he gets all of his hearts back. That was a good boss loot pool. He'll need every bit of it for the Golden Palace, Stage 6. Let's see how he handles this fortress. It mostly consists of him slamming his face into everything you see. I think he's employing the Zebgenny being Zebgenny strat. And there's the death we were expecting earlier. Did not hit checkpoint yet. He's got to go through this again. Let's see if he learns his lesson. He kills that guy. And he's going to actually wait for these properly to raise so he can get by them. And then just get hit by the bird. And get hit by the other bird. Looks like the concept of killing enemies or avoiding enemies is not in his wheelhouse here in stage 6. Does duck there. Seems like he remembers how to avoid damage all of a sudden. Oh, gets Hadoukened right in the face. Pretty sure there's at least 12 people in chat that want to Hadouken Zebgeni in the face. Raise your hand, please. Oh, Zeb's trying to fight the flying monkey. That didn't work. Oh, nice dodge there. No rhythm squats, though. This is where a pro player really separates themselves from amateur one. And you can tell Zebgeni is the amateur because it's 18 minutes later and he's still playing this game. Clearly the slowest time of the tournament so far. Second attempt on the minecart. Will he jump sooner? Oh, he does the little saver jump. Does not get the helmet, though. See if that factors in. Low clearance. It does have a wave beam, so that has to mean something. And here is cart number 2 of 3. He grabs the helmet and transitions to the third cart. No, he does not. There's the game over. He loses his heart container. So when Zeb makes it through, he's only going to be able to fight the final boss with 2 total heart containers, which could be a problem. He does have all of his lives left, though. Takes damage in getting the helmet. Let's see if he can make this transition. And he does make the transition. He opts not to take the power-ups. Maybe he knows that they do not extend the duration of the power-up you're going to get here from this bird. Doesn't even get the power-up from that bird. So he's going to go head on to the final boss. 1 heart. And regular beam shot. He's trying to hit it in the face. You can't hit this one in the face. You got to hit him in the cape. We are 20 minutes into the first race here in Elite Season 8. I am Reginald E. Sports Jackson. Thanks for watching this group Donkey Kong race. There'll be one more race on tonight's program. We may have to join that one in progress if Zebgeni could not finish this one up in time. It is only an hour show. All right, last life on this continue. Grabs the helmet, but is already down 1 heart. Makes the transition. He opts not to go goofy foot here. But he is taking the fire beam. Let's see if this works out for him. He will not have the range of the other beams. And here we go. We're all rooting for him. All right, 2 more credits left. Let's see if he can get it done. Chat, give us the eggplant emotes for Zebgeni, please. If he only knew to do the rhythm squats, he might be doing a little bit better. Good cart-to-cart transition right there. And there he goes. He kept 2 hearts through this part. And has the helmet. And got the fire-up. The power-up. So let's see how he does. This could be it. He is about 89,000 points away from his top score. Not sure if he's going to get that. He avoids the wooden boomerang. Or does not avoid the boom. Does not avoid either of them. And takes the death. Here we go. Last life on this continue. On this credit. He's got to make it work. Let's go. Let's root him on, chat. Make sure you drop him a follow. Twitch.tv/Zebgedney. One word. And if you ever see him streaming, be like, hey, I saw you play that game for 23 minutes. And more. All right. No lives left in this continue. 2 hearts of health. He avoids that boomerang. Avoids that boomerang, too. There's a 3rd boomerang. How many does this guy have? Oh, here we go. We're on phase 2. Could this be the one? 37 shots away. Spam all your favorite emotes in chat right now. Give him the power, please. Oh, he takes a hit. 27 points of health left. Oh, man. I just can't take this excitement. This is what they call hype, I think, in the esports business. Oh, no. Gorilla be kidding me. Gorilla be kidding me. He was so close. He take that hit there, and he wanted to just continue to take the death. Because he doesn't have the confidence in himself to do it, and I don't know if anybody in chat has confidence in him anymore either. We tried our best. We tried to will him the victory. We tried to give him the positive spirit. The emotes, they were flowing in chat, and he just couldn't do it. And he misses the cart, and he's going to be on his last life here. Last total life. 25 minutes into the race. Elite Season 8. This is Regional Esports Jackson. And we are watching Zebgedney finish up this marathon run. Could this be it? This is his absolute last shot. Oh, and he makes the transition to the cart. This could be it. It's bottom of the 9th. Bases are loaded. 2 outs. And the Sox bring in Papelbon. All right, so far so good. He avoids both boomerangs and gets to phase 2. Let's keep his distance. Oh, he almost jumped into the head. He's got to be careful, but he's got to be a little aggressive. 1 heart of health left. 84,000 points from the high score. Oh, no. Oh, and that's it for Zebgedney. He is out of continues. That is a game over. Oh, man. 26 minutes and 11 seconds to arrive at this. He definitely got his money's worth with that Melvin helmet, or the Melvin hat. Excuse me. I shall correct myself. But that is it. BT's beats Zebgedney in the Elite Season 8 opening match in Group Donkey Kong. This is Reginald Esports Jackson sending it back to Hans Buttface in the studio. And there you have BT's getting the early jump on Group Donkey Kong. He beats Zeb Gedney in the first race of Elite Season 8. Jack Miss Wedge versus Justaman 114 will be made up at a future date. But we're going to head on over to the other group in the cesspool, Group Donkey Kong 3. There we'll have Armageddon Time and D-Pad Danny, who will call the race between Dig Shake and the Alan Heffley, and Puke 7 and Zyrak.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Season 8 of Elite with Dig Shake, Alan Heffley, and Puke 7 against Zyrak. I'm D-Pad Danny, and with me tonight is Armageddon Time. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad, man. We got ourselves a pretty good race, looks like, to start. We got 4 people on screen at the same time, so this is going to be quite the task to manage 4 screens at once, but it looks like we've already got things going underway.
And Alan Heffley already taken the death. That's going to put him a little bit behind.
Indeed, but, you know, when it comes to this, if you run into a problem where maybe you take an early death or even a dumb death, you can't just sit there and wallow in it. You gotta just go.
Oh, absolutely.
Looks like we already got the egg helmets on. Everybody making their way up the vines, just trying to get through this first level and maybe start a little bit of something, you know, get the mojo flowing.
Right, because I mean, you know, the levels are pretty short here, so, you know, it's even if you do have a mistake like Alan did, you know, it's you can always bring it back. I mean, and this, you know, we see a lot in this one where sometimes a small mistake can really be detrimental, but that's usually not until later on in the game.
The problem is, early on, you have so little health that you kind of maybe want to take some precautions, but at the same time, this is a race, you know? Sometimes you got to throw caution to the wind. As, you know, we're seeing, like, on the right-hand side, Alan Heffley, he just, unfortunately took another death there, but, you know, you got to take the big risks in order to make the big plays.
Absolutely, and we see Puke 7 took a death as well, as Zyrak made short work of the first boss, and Dig Shake is also on the first boss as he takes him down.
Looks like we're seeing a lot of similar runs, you know, making kind of the similar moves and big plays, everybody grabbing certain helmets. Nobody's straying too far off the beaten path thus far, and you know, Alan Heffley finally making his way to level 2, which everybody else is now starting to work on.
Indeed. Puke 7 is not far behind either. He's starting level 2 as we speak.
And Zyrak already dropping into the water with a big old egg helmet on. I mean, I call it an egg helmet just because it's extremely white and it just looks like your poor little Toki man there is got a giant egg on his head, but no, that's neither here nor there. We got some more vines, we got some more water. It's a very parallel plays, that's what I'm seeing here.
Indeed, and there's Dig Shake taking an unfortunate death, but there's Alan Heffley taking a death as well, and he's still a little bit behind, so I think Dig Shake's still in pretty good shape there.
You know what's interesting is you say unfortunate death. With many speedrun games, sometimes there are times you actually want to take a death, and I'm not sure if we'll see that here today, but there are some games where maybe you can take certain deaths at certain times to either refill health or maybe even advance a little bit in level, but, you know, I don't know if we've seen that just quite yet, but we got a mini-boss in the upper left, Dig Shake, trying to take down whatever that thing is.
And he succeeded.
And we've got a... And, yeah, we've got a Vitreous in the bottom right there. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying Dig Shake succeeded, that's all. We got Zyrak starting stage 3. This for me is one of the ones that I struggle with a lot. I think a lot of people have trouble with level 3. It's just there's just a lot of areas you can screw up at.
Yeah, I've heard it scream to top the mountain tops that level 3, the fire level, is definitely one the bane of many people's Toki existence. I'm sure Toki himself would probably say the same thing. Unfortunately, he's part of the Great Ape family, so he's not really going to be saying very much at this present moment.
And Dig Shake is also starting stage 3 now. Now, Arma, I have a question for you. Are there any products that you like that absolutely have to be brand name? Like, you know, you can go generic on certain things, but is there anything that specifically you cannot budge on that needs to be name brand?
Alright, I see we're switching topics here, but that's totally fine because, we're pretty much prepared for anything here. I can think of 2 right off the bat. That would be Heinz Ketchup and China Lily Soy Sauce. I do love my soy sauce. You might say, I've heard the kids kick around this term soy boy. So you might I don't know what it means, but you might call me a soy boy, because boy do I love my soy sauce.
Nice. We have Alan Heffley and Puke7 both entering stage 3. And you and I will have to agree to disagree because for soy sauce, for me, it's all about the Kiko Man. Like, you cannot change my mind. That's the only soy sauce that exists.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's big brand name. And you know what? Kiko Man is fine. I mean, if that's all that's available, I won't complain. Well, I'll complain in my head a little bit. But by the same token, I'm wishing that they had that China Lily, because it's very hard to come by. What's very hard to come by is health in this game, as Zyrak took some damage there, but it seemed almost intentional.
That's hard to say. I don't think that last little bit of damage was intentional, but it's hard to say sometimes, because like you were saying, sometimes taking a death is beneficial, sometimes just taking damage is beneficial, and then we see Zyrak taking another assumedly unintentional death there, landing in the lava.
Yeah, the one time I said it was intentional, it seemed it was just to kind of power through a certain area, and oh no, as I say that, Zyrak taking a game over, which sends all your health back to 2 hearts instead of anything you may have accumulated to this point.
Yep, he definitely lost a heart in the process. And there's Alan Heffley as well, taking a game over. Seeing a little bit of trouble again on stage 3.
Yeah, I think this may be an ongoing motif, at least from what I've gathered and from what I've heard from people, that stage 3 is just it's just such a slog. And speaking of slog, look at that sloggy whatever the heck that thing is in the bottom right corner. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be.
I think with it spouting out burp letters, I think the intended is it's supposed to be a stomach. I don't know. In my splits, I call him, oh man, brain fart. I can't even think of what I call him on my splits. It's some crack against BG.
Yeah, brain fart would actually be a pretty good term for this thing, but are there any other products that they have to be of a certain brand name in order for you to accept them into your body? Or otherwise?
Gotta be Kraft singles. For American cheese slices, for my grilled cheese, for cheeseburgers, it has to be Kraft singles. I can't do the Land O'Lakes, I can't do your 99-cent store brand stuff. It just does not taste right.
Oh my gosh, I forgot Land O'Lakes was even a company. But thank you for bringing that back up, as we're making our way to the freezer. On the bottom right-hand side, Zyrak, I don't know, is there any maybe brands of ice cream? Are you a Chapman's fan, perhaps? Or maybe a, who are those guys that do Chunky Monkey? That would be a perfect one for this game.
Oh, bring on the ape puns. As far as ice cream, I don't really... Oh, jeez. Welcome to the same jokes you're going to hear all season, ladies and gentlemen. As Alan Heffley takes another unfortunate death and still struggling in stage 3. As far as ice cream, I don't really have a preference. If I'm in the mood for ice cream, whatever's around is fine.
Here's hoping that when it comes to the jokes this season, people aren't aping all of my jokes over and over. But anyway, we're getting back to the race. We have ice in the bottom right, ice in the bottom left, and we got fire in the bottom left, fire in the top right. This is absolute insanity. This is craziness.
This is why everyone gets sick this time of year.
Yeah, with the high temperatures and low temperatures, no wonder this Toki just can't seem to catch a break.
Zyrak is making good progress through the ice stage as Alan Heffley gets to Bubblegut Tube. That's what it was. That's what I remembered now. As he takes another death and another game over. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, Bubble Gut is actually not a bad name for that thing, too. We got some good nomenclature developing here, but whatever that stomach burp thing is... Oh, we got a Dumbo in the bottom right-hand corner as well. Very popular at the movie theaters currently.
Zyrak doesn't have any trouble at all with him as he moves on to stage 5, the jungle.
And Puke 7 and Alan Heffley dueling stomachs, both successfully taking them out, so they're moving on to the ice level as well.
They gotta feel good about finally being over that fire stage, man. That's a little bit of a sigh of relief. I feel like for a lot of people, it's like, okay, well, that's one of the big hurdles of the game over.
Yeah, because I find personally, I find the ice level to be a little bit of a relief after the chaos of the fire everywhere. But that's just simply my opinion. I mean, some people may find their own difficulties in this level because there's certain tips and tricks to advancing in this level that some may want to choose and some may not want to choose. So really, it's a matter of taste.
And it tastes like Dig Shake is moving on to the jungle now. He's had his fill of ice cream.
Hopefully they also have fun in games in the jungle, as we see making it up those vines, I find sometimes can be a bit of a sticky situation. I like to think of those the vines as fly paper, and you kind of have to wriggle yourself off of them.
I know what you mean. In certain areas, I feel like are just inherently easier, and also just like the way that you do your rock jumps, like, you know, you jump off and wrap back up to it. I feel like one direction is always easier than the other.
Big Shake taking a little bit of a respite there to take down that pesky flower, but then unfortunately taking a death immediately afterwards. That's going to set him back, unfortunately, but he still has the lead against Alan Heffley, who unfortunately takes another death. My goodness, I am losing my mind over this.
Yeah, it's another game over as well, so he's back stuck at 2 health, and we're just going to have to see what he can do here. Meanwhile, Zyrak comes up against the hand and foot boss. I don't know what you call this guy, but
he does have a proper name, but the only thing I can remember is he's an invisible giant. I'm sure people in the chat will be correcting us right now, but thank you very much for your input, and please continue to take digs at D-Pad Danny all you like. They're more than welcome.
They nourish me. It's okay. We got Zyrak finishing up and heading on to the final stage, while Puke 7 is still struggling at the ice stage. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but, you know, I mean, stage 6 can be pretty difficult, and if you slip up too many times, I mean, it's still somewhat possible that Puke 7 could come back.
I mean, I know I even just mentioned not long ago that the ice level is a bit of a lovely rest stop compared to the fire level, but, you know, different people face different challenges, and it seems that Puke 7 having a little more of a challenge with the ice. Maybe, you know, if you can't take the coolness, get out of the freezer? Is that what the term is?
Sure, why not? We got Alan Heffley coming up against the boss as Puke 7 is fighting him as well. See if he can get out of the prison that has been stage 4, and he manages to get through. We'll see if Alan Heffley can do the same.
They got him in the icebox, Tony.
Something about not quitting your day job.
Man, did you ever find it creepy that hand actually is pumping the invisible heart, or I guess visible heart? I mean, it's kind of a morbid scene, really. But what isn't morbid is riding an awesome minecart. Check that out in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, the minecart stage is really not that bad. I mean, when you start it, it's rough just because you want to jump and you want to move forward, and you realize really quick that you can't do that. We got Dig Shake starting the dismembered hand and feet boss once again, as Alan Heffley is making his way through the jungle. So this is a little bit closer than it was earlier on.
You know, for an invisible giant, there's a lot of parts of him that you can see. I don't know. I'd be talking to my evil henchman boss about renaming that person.
Well, clearly it's the clothes that makes him invisible, and you know it's got to be hot in the jungle, so he's not wearing any shoes or gloves. But
Maybe
apparently he's wearing a face mask.
Maybe it's an Emperor's New Clothes thing. But speaking of emperors, we have the evil emperor of the game, bottom right-hand corner, Zyrak, taking on the final boss.
Indeed, but he's only got 1 health left. He's gonna have to be extra careful here.
He's got a couple lives in tow, so in case things get a bit dicey, he can at least maybe fall back on that. But not knowing where your opponent is, you know, you want to be able to finish things as toot sweet as possible.
Oh, absolutely. And taking a death here can send you back by about a minute or two as well.
I mean, we still have the Alan Heffley and Puke 7 on level 5, just trying to get by, 5 alive.
And Dig Shake is doing the minecart dance. So we see him push his way through. And there's Zyrak taking down the boss.
Oh, look at that. GG to Zyrak with a time of 15:54.
GG indeed. Good job.
I'm also a big fan of this font, this very reminiscent Lion King style font. But here's hoping that Puke 7 will still finish out the game, finish out the last 2 levels he has to do, as we see Dig Shake taking a ride.
Alan Heffley really wants that 1-up, but he just can't get it.
It just ain't the same if you don't do the BGT squats during the minecart section. But Puke 7, unfortunately, taking a game over. Oh boy, so getting sent back, only 2 health, and almost taking a death there. It's a very weird spot to be spawned, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, it's way easy to walk right off the ledge there if you're not paying attention. Especially if you've died a few times and you're a little bit salty. That's definitely happened to me. We got Dig Shake taking on the last boss, working on some cheese strats, but he had to back on out because only down to 1 health there, and he's going to have to play it safe to get through without being sent back. As I say that, he gets sent back and has to do the second part of the minecart stage again. But he's still got a pretty comfortable lead, so I don't think he has really too much to worry about.
Plus, he has 4 whole hearts, maximum health. So if anything, you can simply run in there and cheese the boss if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, maybe hang back, play it safe. I'm not sure. Really depends on how you feel that day. Wearing the egg helmet.
Right, and we saw him attempting the cheese strats, but having to do just that and pull back because he was down to 1 health. But here he goes again, and we'll see if he can pull it out this time. As Puke 7 makes it over the brambles onto the disembodied boss. Alan Heffley is really having a rough time with the jungle here.
I mean, wouldn't anybody have a tough time in the jungle? You know, we seem so domesticated with our comfortable lives here in the West, and I don't really know where I'm going with this. Either way, we're just seeing death here left and right, and Big Shake trying desperately to make something happen here, but he has full health, so probably feeling a little comfortable at this point, but I'm not really sure. I can't get into Big Shake's head. Would you want to?
Not in particularly, but I did notice that he skipped that last fireball power up before the boss, so he's taking slow strats just due to his weaker weapon. As we see, Puke 7 has made it out of the jungle, and oh, unfortunately, the Alan Heffley throwing in the towel with a DNF.
Heading back to that hamster wheel, but I mean, what can you do? At the same time, Dig Shake with a time of 1911, pretty impressive for you know for where we are right now. In term, we're still early into the game, so maybe he can bring that time down. Maybe they can all bring their time down. But congratulations, GG to Dig Shake.
Indeed. I mean, it's still early, people are still figuring out the game, and it's not an easy one to just pick up and be a pro at. I mean, there's a lot of little nuances about the game that really take a lot of time playing to get your head wrapped around. But Puke 7's making his way through, and let's all root for him to finish this thing.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing I like to see. Puke Seven. I'm not sure if he's checked SRL or not to see if his opponent has yet won, but whether he has or hasn't, he's going to see this out, going to see it to the end, one way or another. And here's hoping that he makes it through here with relative ease. There are parts of this level that aren't actually that bad. This part ain't that bad if you know what to do.
Yeah, but again, like you said, some people struggle with some areas that people might find easy. Some people find easy areas that other people might struggle on. It's just everyone has different play styles, and it's just that's just. I mean, it makes a good speed game because of that. Some strats are going to be easier for people inherently than others. And some people may want to play it safe on certain areas.
Oh, absolutely. And we shouldn't take anything away from the competitors. I mean, what one person finds difficult, another person finds very easy, and some people might even find this minecart section extremely difficult, just because when you jump, it does feel kind of wonky. But by the same Toki, I should say, Puke Seven is advancing toward the boss. We're just gonna have to see how he does here. He's got 2 health, but he has one extra life in tow. Key.
Eh, But yeah, you saw that on that first jump for the minecart where you jump and you get that first helmet. It looked like he almost overjumped it. Speaking of, there was a little bit of a missed jump there on the long jump there, but he he's still got another stab at it, and unlimited continues. So it's and one thing I really like about this game in the learning aspect is that when you get a game over, it still starts you back at the most recent checkpoint. It doesn't start you back at the beginning of the stage, so you can still progress. And that's one thing that's extremely fair about this game, despite having some really unfortunate areas. Like he's struggling with that jump a little bit, but let's let him see it through. Like you said, let's I hope he plugs it to the end.
Yeah, the one thing about this is, even though that the continues are very forgiving with checkpoints, the problem is that you start with 2 health, and starting with 2 health at this section, probably the most advanced checkpoint, really puts you behind the 8 ball in terms of facing the final boss.
Oh, absolutely. It can definitely be a detriment for sure. Still going for it, but definitely having some issues with these jumps. He was trying to get that extra helmet there, but he grabbed it, but then he kind of overjumped a little bit. So let's see if
The
he can.
the other thing is that, fortunately, there's also an extra life not too far from where you are. It is a bit of a risk though, and when you're at 2 health, I mean, you're just playing with fire at that point.
Right, and I believe he's grabbed it the last time. I think he's foregoing it this time. See if he can get this helmet, or if he's even going to go for it.
Going for the
Well, he went
YOLO
for it.
strat. Oh, and your hat says Melvin. Oh no. Oh, DNF.
Oh, well, it was a good effort. He definitely, I mean, he tried, man. He put it out there, but unfortunately, I guess it just became too much. Those mines, man, the minecart can get you.
Yeah, the difference between going for a PB and going for a race win could be as different as night and day.
But still, a good showing by all of our competitors. Congratulations again to Dig Shake and Zyrak for pulling out the wins in this bracket. This is Donkey Kong Country 3 is the name of this sector of the race.
I believe it's just Donkey Kong 3, at least according to
Oh,
the
right.
provided. But hey, Donkey Kong Country 3, no slouch. But on that note, I gotta say that the Alan Heffley Puke 7, don't give up. You will be able to get yourself a time. You just got to keep plugging away at it. Toki, Toki, Toki. You're gonna do it. Just keep it up, and you'll be right back in the races.
Yeah, just at this point, it's just all about practice, and you'll see people get better throughout the season, definitely. So be sure to look forward to that.
All right. Well, on that note, it's Armageddon time for D-Pad Danny. That's all the marbles. Anything left to say before we headed back up to Hans?
That race was bananas.
Both Zyrak and Digshake take the early advantage in Group Donkey Kong 3. Digshake being relegated from the bowl is probably happy that his 1911 was good enough to get him the win. Probably something that would not happen if he did not get relegated. And if you missed any part of this show, it will be replaying Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the main show, the rest of the Elite Season 8 Week 1 races. That will be Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you there. I am Hans Buttface. Have a good one. Knob.